If we do, we don't know quite how to get back on. We need that feedback, that guidance, and then we get so caught up in our failure patterns and our sense of shame and guilt and low self-esteem or whatever that particular threshold pattern is that we end up backing up, backing off. You know, the thresholds sound like, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough energy, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough support, I don't have enough knowledge. Sound familiar? Or we have a breakdown in our finances, a breakdown in our body, a breakdown in our relationship, in our business, in our extended family. And all of these become our excuse to stop, to back up, to back off, to slow down, to start something over, to go in a different direction, to start yet another program, right? Oh, this program must not work. Oh, it must just be me. I'll just start a different program. It wasn't the right one for me. On and on and on we go. And that's why the average person doesn't live 70 to 90 years. They live the same year 70 to 90 times, stuck in their own proverbial Groundhog Day. Okay, so, and I've already given you my story, but what I want you to understand is that what is needed ultimately and what has made the difference in the lives of most individuals that have achieved true excellence in their life, in any endeavor, is a coach. Is some form of mentorship and support, whether it's a mastermind group, whether it's a support partner, whether it's a private coach, whether it's group coaching. They need that support, that coach, that mentor. I have coaches, I have mentors. It was a coach and a mentor that pulled me out of that tragic downward spiral that I was in. It was a coach and a mentor, not to mention my own support system that I was developing, that mirrored back to me where I really was, my blind spots. And it was a coach and a mentor that kicked me in the butt when I was stuck and I was wanting to grow my business and saying to myself, well, I don't have the money and I have to wait and, I don't have time. And, and he said to me, if you really believed all this stuff you've been studying, that life supports you and all these things, what would you do? I said, well, I would do it. I would go for it. I would invest that money in that ad and I would go for it. He says, then if you don't, you're out of integrity with yourself. And you're going to suffer. You're going to be stuck. You're going to be stagnant. And that was confrontive to me. I was like, what do you mean I'm out of integrity with myself? Who are you to tell me that? And I was confronted. And I grumbled. And then I thought about it. I thought, you know what? He's right. You see, I had been praying and affirming and visualizing and vision boarding to have abundance and all this stuff. And yet my actions were not congruent with that vision. I was speaking abundance out of one side of my mouth and speaking lack out of the other. I was praying and affirming abundance out of one side of my mouth, and then when it came to actually taking the actions of an abundant person, I had an excuse. I had to pay my rent or whatever it was. So I caught that awareness because of this coach having the willingness. Sometimes a mentor's job is to comfort the afflicted, and sometimes their job is to afflict the comfortable. And he afflicted some comfortable places in me that day. And I went home and I took out that ad, and in the first month, it paid for itself. In the second month, I made 10 times back what I had invested. And it took my whole life to a new level. Because remember, if you've been listening, whatever is missing is what you're not giving. It's already in you. But see, I needed that feedback. I needed somebody to, smack me upside the head in a very loving way, but firm. I needed feedback, and I wasn't able to see it. I was in my blind spot. Nobody makes it to the Olympics without a coach. Tiger Woods didn't become the greatest golfer in the world, except for his other issues in his life. He could maybe use a relationship coach. But he didn't make it to that place without a coach. Mozart, Beethoven, they actually had coaches. The greatest athletes all have coaches. The greatest artists all had mentors, and they were proteges to them. The greatest spiritual leaders had great coaches and mentors or gurus. Over and over and over again, you'll see this. But because of our pride, because of our arrogance, because of our ego, because of our fear of being found out, because it's so much easier to hide and play it safe and comfortable and rationalize all the reasons why we're not living up to our full potential. And by the way, do you know what when you rationalize, you know what that is, right? It's a rational lie. When we hide, when we do it alone, it's really easy to hide. It's really easy to fail and then maybe nobody will notice. And maybe we can just eat a little bit more Ben and Jerry's, or work a little bit more, or do a little bit more of our addiction, whatever that may be, because we all have them, so that we don't have to feel the pain of not living our true destiny. As the Gospel of Thomas says, if you keep what is within you inside, it will destroy you. But if you let what is within you out, it will set you free. And many years ago, I discovered what my work was. As Michelangelo said, he did not ever create the art. He saw the finished masterpiece already hidden in that block of stone and merely set it free. And I know that my job with my clients is to catch the vision of that masterpiece that's already hidden in that block of mortal stone and help them to set it free. There is a masterpiece within you trying to get out. You know it. You feel it. There is genius. There is wealth. There is health. There is so much good trying to come out. But you need these three distinctions. You need to have a vision. You need to have a plan. And you need to have support. And it does require other people. In 99.9%, unless you're Thoreau out on Walden Pond, it requires other people. And believe me, he had support. He went into town every weekend and got drunk. He needed that bartender, and I bet you he had some really good conversations in that bar. I'm not encouraging you to make that your to create your mastermind group in a bar, but hey, whatever works, right? So you need support.